Hey everyone, welcome to the Dev Thing. In this video, we're going to be looking at this brand new 2019 Audi Q8. And we're going to try and figure out if this is the ultimate SUV ever from Audi. Let's find out. Stick around. So, let's start this thing up. And what I really like about this is this startup, the way it welcomes you. It's quite interesting. Listen. Breaks down. That is so cool. The little startup music is very cinematic. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's very cinematic. But it's a really cool startup. I like it. All right, let's rev it up a little bit here. It's very toned. In the inside of this car, you barely hear the exhaust note, and it's very quiet. So let's say I roll down the windows a little bit. Let's see if you hear the revving. It's very tame. But then again, for an SUV like this, that's kind of what you want. You want comfort. You want the styling. You want it to be very understated. And you want it to be quiet. From that perspective, all those checkboxes have been ticked off in this Q8. Oh, here's another tip for you. If you get the progressive model and it doesn't have the auto lock or auto shut door functionality, which is an optional extra, this door is going to be hard to close. So the amount of effort that I take to close my S4's door, that would have closed my S4's door. In this case, it hasn't. So now you really have to slam on this door in order for it to close. That's what you have to do in order to close the door. It takes a lot of effort. So if you're getting this car, I highly recommend that auto lock or auto close door functionality, which is an optional extra. So check it out. We'll look at that towards the end of the video. Feel right at home in this 2019 Audi Q8. They've modernized the interior so much, yet kept the typical Audi feel. I mean, there's a lot of elements in here that's probably a carryover from the previous generation Audis. But I like it. It's very modern. It feels great sitting in here. It's very comfortable. I'm in dynamic at the moment. And I'm not getting beaten up in this car. Everything is very quiet. I don't hear a lot of the road noise. The only road noise I hear are from the winter tires that are on this loaner car that I've got for the day. It's not on the stock summer wheels and tires, which comes with a 21-inch. The ones that are on here right now are 20-inch winter wheels. It's massive. If you're buying this car and you want a cost-effective approach for winter tires and wheels, maybe this is not the car for you. You got to invest in 20-inch wheels for the winter. Can you imagine? I'm not even sure if you can go down to 19. I'll have to ask. And besides, even if you did 19, it wouldn't look good on this car. This car is massive. You need big wheels, nice fitting shoes to make this car look good all year round. In terms of how this rides, it really has three personas. the comfort persona and the dynamic persona and the automatic persona in between, which is controlled through the drive select. In comfort, it's very compliant, it's very soft, it's very quiet, it's very, let's just say, comfortable. But there is a little bit of body roll through the suspension, and it's perhaps because it doesn't have the air suspension. It's the regular ride control system that Audi has. So in comfort mode, though it's really comfortable, it's very easy to drive, there is a little bit of a body roll, and you can kind of feel the laziness aspect of this Q8. All of that weight you can feel. But then as soon as you put it in dynamic, the car is completely transformed. It becomes not an SUV. It becomes a sedan of some sort that drives like a sedan, that corners like a sedan. It is very nimble in dynamic for the size, even with the suspension that it has, not having the air suspension. So it's quite nice. Now I do have to mention this is an 8-speed automatic, and it's mated to the Audi Quattro system. Now this isn't the Quattro Ultra. I think I've mentioned this before. This uses the traditional Quattro system where 60% of the torque is always to the back and 40% to the front. And then if it needs more, it takes some from the 40% and bring it to the back. Up to 80 or so percent torque goes to the back. Quattro Ultra, on the other hand, is completely different. It's a front-wheel drive car followed by it activating the center differential electronically, and then it becomes four-wheel drive. So it's more of a front-wheel drive system, then it becomes an all-wheel drive system if it needs to. And this is mainly for fuel efficiency. And thankfully in this car, it's still your traditional Audi Quattro system where 60% of the torque goes to the back and 40% is up front, which makes it for a sporty driving. Oh, it's a big car. You can really tell. There's a bit of a hesitation in the turning. Oh. Wow. So I don't know if you've heard in the video there, but I just gunned it. Super quiet. Really didn't feel anything inside the cabin. Like, you didn't really hear the motor go crazy. I mean, you kind of did, but it's not really aggressive. But in terms of the distance it traveled, wow, this thing went fast. I mean, it was quiet because of all the insulation that's there in the car, and it's all for the comfort aspect of it. But flooring the throttle, this thing just, damn, it went. So I know in some reviews, especially in the European side, they have the diesel motor, and they complain how there's only about 230 or 240 horsepower or so, and there's not enough oomph to overtake someone on a highway scenario. I don't think that's the case with this V6. This 3-liter V6 bi-turbo is quite responsive. It's really responsive. Having the suspension in comfort, there is a level of laziness in the turn-in. So let's try to switch it up to all dynamic and see how well it performs. Okay, instantly things stiffen up. Steering is far more responsive. Combination with a stiffer suspension makes for a very, very direct feedback in terms of your input to what the car does. So as I mentioned before, this Q8 is based on the same platform the Audi Q7, the Porsche Cayenne, and the Lamborghini Urus is all based off of. It's the same platform. I believe the VW Atlas is also on the same platform. So this is far more expensive than the Audi Q7, but it is far less expensive than the Cayenne and the Urus. So it kind of sits in the middle of the sporty lineup in the VW Group offerings. The Porsche, the Lamborghini, and the Audi Q7. One thing you miss out with this Q8 is the third row seating. Now, if you have a big family, you want that extra practicality, you want to get kids in the back, that may not be possible with this Q8. The third row has been compromised to give you more space, more leg room in the back seats, and more trunk space so you can lug around more of your stuff. So if you're a 2-kid family or a 1-kid family, this Q8 will be the ultimate sports SUV that you can cruise around in to look good and have the practicality of an SUV or a family vehicle in that manner. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so that you get notified when I upload new content like this. I'm going to try and do this on a monthly basis as I get access to these cars. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys later.